to be joining us again at some point.
Wait, I wasn't ready. No, go ahead.
Damn it.
Oh, he's going to join us again? Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what he emailed me and said 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
We'll see if it pans out. All right. Who wants to give a recap?
I almost died. I know. I remember that much.
One attack. It was one attack.
It was one round of attacks. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
The
I think. Maybe not. I don't remember anymore.
We were basically we spent the beginning session as our Chiclet transported us to his lair area stronghold, and kind of he beefed us up, healed us, gave us some additional strength, and then basically whenever we were ready, we were charged to take care of the monster that was slaying the town. So we did, or we went there anyway, and we didn't take care of it yet. This monster had a large vacuum in the center, almost like a black hole, which sucked in everything. Creatures, debris, magic, just whatever. It just sucked in everything around it. So we fought it the whole time, and Tacitus is stuck inside of the black hole.
Most of us are.
Most of us, yeah, all of us are except for Kurt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We all got stuck.
And you were under attack from some from Slimers.
Yep. A bunch of Slimers. So,
and Zorchiclet for some reason appeared in front of Ivar and is like, "Yeah, portal's over there." Like that was supposed to be my cue to walk over and jump in the portal or something.
oh, did that happen?
He did sort of say that there was, that you can't see it, but it's still there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He did something to like his eyes or some shit. Make him see it.
So let me set the scene for you, for those of you that got sucked in. The first thing you notice is the stinging and burning in your eyes and your throat. The noxious vapors all around you are causing this constant growing itch that's just deepening into your skin, and causing you to cough and wheeze, and your eyes are tearing up. After that, you notice that while it is dark and the air is thick with this very acrid, burning type smell, there's kind of a pulsing light in various places that seems to be emitted by this glowing slime that is pooling in certain places around this room and dripping from some of the walls and from the ceiling. You notice that let's see. Of course I would. So Tacitus, a drop of this liquid, this fluorescent predator slime like liquid, drips onto a piece of your armor, and it begins to sizzle. You react quick enough to knock it off before it can really do any damage to your armor, but it's obviously quite caustic and reactive. What you are standing on and all of the walls and the ceiling of this place seems to be made out of a fleshy substance that seems to, in certain places, contract and relax, much like smooth muscle might inside of within a stomach. there are ridges of bone in certain places that give this place some structure. And there seems to be, you guys are kind of in the middle of this area. You being sucked into the portal, you're all kind of prone and just standing up. And as you do, you see that your equipment and your clothes and your skin are kind of burning as a result of the touch, just being in this place. Everything's kind of sizzling, and then at one end you see there is what looks to be kind of a sphincter that kind of opens and closes rhythmically.
A sphincter says what?
and a sudden drop of this fluid next to it creates a bit of a flash of illumination, which reveals something of a face that is in this in the wall of this place. And as you guys are starting to get up and get your bearings, you see at the edges are various debris and bodies that have been also sucked in. None of them are still continuing, and none of the bodies are alive. They've all been digested to various degrees. Their skin, their clothing, their weapons burning away slowly as these giant green globs seem to be moving over them and engulfing them with made of this similar fluorescent fluid. And in response to your presence, more of these things seem to seep up from the edges where the walls and the ceilings meets, and take form into these globulous things that have no legs, and kind of bounce around on their torso, and carry themselves forward with their arms. And they each have what resembles to be some sort of face with these slits for eyes and this vague shape for a mouth. But as they come closer, you can see that the mouth just opens up wider than it naturally should based on the size of the thing's body. And they do this gurgling type of hiss.
I'm going to need an example of that. All right. Can you do that backwards? So like if I look around up, perhaps, do I see like something that might be considered an esophagus?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of different sphincters all around this place. There is one directly above you guys. There's another one that is kind of midway between the ceiling and the floor next to this face. And then there's a couple of others that seem to be a bit farther off.
Can I tell, like, if air is coming in from the one above?
Yeah, there's air coming from that one that you can kind of, whenever it opens up, it does so kind of like, and as it does that, you do get some slight sense that the air is not so accurate afterwards.
Okay.
So do I have my telepathic bond with Blaze right now? Where's he at?
Yes.
Being attacked, wasn't he?
Yeah. So Blaze is actually in the process of horse kicking a couple of these things off of him, but just as he does that, another one latches onto his shoulder, and you see a burning sizzle. Then Blaze lets out a pained whinny.
We're gonna need an example of that.
Now backwards. Come on.
was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's impressive.
I felt pain. Not my character, but me. I felt it. Well, how far away is Blaze? Can I stop? Can I go help him?
Yeah, he's about 30 feet away.
All right. I want to run over there and I don't know. All I know how to do is slash things with the halberd, so
Okay.
I want to try and slash these things off of him.
All right. So there's the one on his shoulders. There's the two that he just knocked off. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
$23.
All right. So you hit it.
Okay.
Roll damage.
Okay. I don't know if you're gonna tell me my halberd just went through it or whatever. I never know with you. 9.
All right.
Your
So
halberd
so your halberd does go through it, but as it does it, it pops and the thing explodes, and as it does so, thankfully your halberd gives you some reach. Otherwise, it would have splashed onto you. But definitely, your halberd begins sizzling, and you can see Blaze jump in pain as he's splashed with this acidic substance.
I mean, we have a telepathic bond, so what is he saying? Is he saying, like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's not quite intelligent enough to verbalize that.
What kind of sense do I get from him?
You just get the sense of confusion from him. He doesn't know what's happening, or he's just in a lot of pain and he's very scared, and this is not he's not used to being in enclosed spaces like this, let alone one that's so
hostile.
Yes.
Well, can I dismiss him?
Yeah, you can attempt to.
Well, ask him first. Do you want to leave? Telepathically. Do you want to get out of this horrible place?
He stomps and whinnies.
Okay, I attempt to dismiss him. Go ahead and tell me what stops me.
So do you have religion or arcana?
I don't think so. No, I don't.
Okay. But you do have some spell casting, so give me a spellcaster check.
What would that be?
So that would be D20 plus charisma.
An 8.
Okay. So as you attempt to dismiss Blaze, you can feel that there's some kind of barrier preventing the magic from escaping. Something about this place is really designed to keep what has been put in there inside there.
Looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way, buddy.
He stomps and neighs, and just as that happens, both Marthau and Tacitus have a couple of these Slimer things bouncing over to them.
Meanwhile, after about let's say 12 seconds, Ivar will, with some resignation, begin to move forward because he's like 300 feet away from where you guys all got sucked in. So it's going to take him like a minute.
Especially with his little gnome feet.
Right.
So you're taking 2 rounds before you even decide to dedicate at least just your movement.
Well, I mean, I think in the 12 seconds of, are they coming back? No, no, no.
It's gonna mosey on over. Yes. No need to dash. I'm sure they're fine.
They'll live.
Hey, he'll dash.
Okay.
Still kind of walking at a leisurely pace.
So
So Martha sees these things bouncing towards him,
yeah.
and he's gonna cast mirror image on himself. So he splits off into 3.
Okay.
Not a huge fan of this at all. Let's see here. I don't think I prepared that spell. Or I'm not even sure if I learned it.
Well, Zorchiklik did give you guys the benefit, like when he unlocked some inner potential in you, that all spells are prepared. So if you have it, it's considered a prepared spell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Take a look here. I did not have it. Okay. I didn't learn it, so that's fine. I wonder if I could make this thing spit us up. So I would like to cast Storm Sphere up near the thing right above us.
Okay. So as you cast Storm Sphere, what does it look like?
Well, so how high up is that actually?
Let's say it's about 40 feet up in the air.
Okay. So I'll center it. I'll center it on the thing. So it's got a 20-foot radius. So like I'll center it right at the whatever the opening is, so that it's going up into it as well. And essentially it's a swirling sphere of strong winds and occasional lightning.
Okay. So the winds don't do much. I mean, it does the sensation of the wind seems to react with the slimy flesh and cause it to quiver in certain places and shiver. But it also whips around some of the acid that is draining from it and being secreted. So it causes more of that to be whipped around the room, causing numerous splashes. And so actually Tony, Marthau, and Elmorn take 5 acid damage from this acid being sprayed all over the place. But the lightning definitely impacts the flesh around it and causes numerous like fleshy convulsions around the sphincter that kind of disrupts it from opening or closing with the regularity that it was, and you can see it beginning to char. The lightning strikes definitely are charring the flesh in the places that it hits, and the whole thing is kind of rumbling. So
one of the mirror images fades away.
Okay.
So 5 damage, you said?
Yeah, 5 acid damage. And then oh yeah, that really hurts Tacitus, doesn't it?
Yeah. Down to 19 of my other points. Forgot what they're called.
your vitality points.
Yeah.
Additionally, because it's the whole thing is now convulsing, everybody give me a dexterity check.
Check or save?
We'll say save.
Bless
Bless
you. Oof. I'm gonna action point that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Natural
me
20.
too.
All right, that's better. 16.
Holy fuck. I'm going to use 2. That's my second action point I'm using. We're keeping count of them this time. All right. I got a 17.
All right. So everybody manages to stay up. Tacitus manages to stay up with style. Go ahead and describe to me, Tacitus. You get to pull off something cool with your nat 20.
Maybe you should tell him what he's managing to stay up from.
The vibrations and the shaking and the quivering of the entire area as it's reacting to the lightning
It's like a mini
strikes.
earthquake?
Yeah. And it's weird because it's not just that it's not just shaking and everything, but like you can feel because under your feet it's what you're standing on is kind of soft and squishy, and it's actually like flesh that is convulsing and contracting and pulsing underneath you, and so it's not just like if you were an earthquake, it's more like if you were, I don't know. First image that comes to mind is standing on a shivering dog's back.
Okay. Well, perhaps then this, if you'll allow, I don't know. It knocks one of these weird things that's coming towards us, like in my direction, and like I just kind of like thrust because I got that shadowy blade right now. And I just kind of like thrust it out and let it fall into the shadowy blade.
Okay. And then because it's a natural 20, it's even cooler than that. Because the way that you're able to maneuver yourself and thrust the blade into it, the creature once more, just like the one that Ano attacked, explodes. But it does so in a way that it's directed away from you and impacts against the one that was about to attack Marthau, and that one also explodes in a way that Marthau is protected from the brunt of the splash.
Well done.
He just explodes around me, like
Yeah.
It doesn't come straight at me like a normal explosion. It's just like I'm parting the Red Sea here of explosive body organs of Slimers.
But there are more of these things coming. Like it seems like there's more and more forming.
Can we tell where they're forming and what they're forming out of?
They're just it seems like they're being excreted. As specifically around where this floor meets the walls. They seem to be coming up from there. Especially there are a couple of pools that seem to be more densely associated with them. But I do want to take a slight break and go to Ivar.
You're on mute.
You muted.
I said I would still be running because it's going to take me 6 rounds to get up there.
I saw, yeah, like Lancelot.
Time moves differently. Time moves differently in this thing, so you're there. You're where you need to be.
Okay, then
That's handy.
the first thing I would do is, assuming I know where this portal is, I'd try to find a place to tie off my rope because I'm an optimist. Then tie off the rope on the outside and then tie it around myself. I suppose actually I would probably poke it through just to see if it like is disintegrating the moment it goes through.
So, Ivar, because you are a sniper of quite a bit of expertise, and especially with the magic of your arrows, I'm going to say that you have an ability to track very keenly any spot that you've hit with an arrow or shot. And so because of that ability, you can use that to trace back to where you figure the opening of this portal is. And as you reach the rope, the other end of the rope towards it, you do see like something like it does seem to disappear into thin air. But as you try to pull it back, there's resistance. Give me a strength check.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even going to try to pull it. It's just going to slip out and get sucked in. And probably, I assume, be taut. There I tied it into the portal.
Yeah, so
that's good. That tells me is that the rope isn't just, it's not just a one way you step through this and you're immediately disintegrated portal. So I'm a little less afraid to step through it.
So yeah, that's what happens. I'll describe to you guys what you guys see on your side, but that's what you see, Ivar, is that the rope. Where did you tie it off to?
That I don't know. What would be around? What's
so there's lots of rubble where you are. Lots of like boulders and stone are facades of buildings that are standing where the rest of the building has fallen. So you could probably find some kind of rock or
yeah, I mean some sizable piece of rubble that I can just loop it around so that when I'm pulling in the direction of the portal, it's not going to slip off.
Yeah. So you probably found one about 20 feet away. And then as you brought the rope to the portal, it got sucked in, and then it was very quickly, it disappeared into this nothingness and pulled the rope taut, and it's staying taut.
And I'm going to grab onto the rope and step through.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So as you step, so you're grabbing onto the rope and you step through, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. So give me a dexterity save.
Above 20, I'm sure. 21.
Okay. So you are thrust forward through this portal very forcefully. And so flashing back to just before the rope got put into the portal, you guys, Tacitus, Marthau, and Elmorn, you see from the sphincter above in the wall, next to this face sort of thing in the wall, the sphincter kind of closes and it begins like convulsing, and it seems to be pulling this rope very rapidly into the into this flesh room, and then all of a sudden out pops.
I'm not sure about that. That rope might be caught in my my storm sphere because that's a concentration spell.
No, it's a different sphincter.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
The one that you're storm spearing is right above you guys.
I would just say I actually did expect I was going to drop into the storm sphere because that's what I assumed the storm sphere was. Yeah. But Ivar wouldn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, if it's a different one, that's good to know.
So yeah, it's plucked through this thing, and then all of a sudden you hear a slimed up gnome flies through this sphincter, having been pushed out, nearly kind of crushed within, and then you see him kind of bounce down this flesh wall a bit, but then he grabs onto the rope and then very coolly slides down to the base. And then now, Ivar, you're beset with this acrid smoke and the burning of the throat and the nose and eyes and the slight sizzling off of your armor and your.
Ivar, admire your dedication, but you just made the wrong choice. Unfortunately, we're trying to get out of here, not come back in here.
Well, there's the rope. Start climbing. Let's go.
Yeah, it might be a little difficult to climb out of here, given how strongly it pulls things in. But I figured it's better than nothing.
That's what we got.
So then, just then, Ivar, to your left, one of these giant globulous things kind of bounds up and launches itself at you. And then there are 5 more in the distance running up towards Elmorn, Blaze, Marthau, and Tacitus. So Ivar... 17 doesn't hit you, does it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. So the thing, this Slimer thing, bounds from the floor and like kind of envelops around you. And so you are grappled, and you are also taking 5 acid damage.
Okay. Yeah.
And then everybody else has an action before these things do the same to all of you.
Well, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of separated from the group, right? I mean, I was 30 feet away with Blaze.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many are coming at me?
Huh?
How many of them are coming at me? I know you said there were 5 total.
Yeah. So there's one coming for you and Blaze. There seem to be 2 coming for Marthau and 1 coming from Tacitus.
So, quick question. How there's the sphincter above us. Where's the sphincter that excreted Ivar?
So that's the one that I initially described. That's kind of partway up between the ceiling and the floor. That's kind of in the wall.
Can we see any other sphincters?
Yeah, there's several all around in different places. None on the floor, though.
Are there any there that would be like climbable or like within some distance that like is not too high off the ground, like maybe 10 feet or?
I mean, the easiest would be the one that has a rope hanging from it.
Well, yeah, it would be. But I was wondering if there's any others that were lower or kind of like like the cave centers where there's like a bunch of different chutes coming in.
Yeah. Not much lower than the one that has the rope hanging from it. I mean, they do vary a little bit in level, but not significantly so.
Okay. I cut you off, Anna. So I'm sorry. Continue.
It's okay. There's just one coming for me. I got my answer.
Well, one coming for you and one coming from Blaze.
Oh, okay. I'm just ready to use Sentinel to stop one of them.
Are you gonna use your charge?
Charge?
Yeah, whatever your paladin thing is.
Divine Smite?
Yeah.
No. These are like little slimes. I'm waiting for the giant ass undulating, like hulking monstrosity that we're gonna face later.
I assume I can see like the face in the wall,
Yeah.
and that's over near where I am.
Yeah. So that thing is quite disturbing. It looks like actually see if I can I have it in my head. I want to see if I can it's kind of like it's like almost like a humanoid face, but the flesh is like pulled and stretched and melding into the fleshy wall of this large structure that you guys are within.
Is it being demanded to be moisturized?
It is not demanding to be moisturized. It's not like just a sheet of flesh. But it is kind of protruding, but almost like trying to be like things are grafted into it that are trying to pull it back almost. And it does have part of the top of its head, the brain is exposed, and there's like several bony protrusions that are have been bored into the brain casing. And as you look into the eyes, Ivar, you see a great deal of pain within them. And what also looks on one side of its head looks like there are holes, almost like finger holes for a bowling ball. Like
there's a lot going on with this one face.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of check that I can, make to ascertain what's going on with this thing?
Do you have medicine?
Yeah.
All right, you can try medicine check.
Okay. I just remembered since I'm in my fucking vitality points, I make everything at disadvantage, don't I?
So let me let you know what that means. So you have disadvantage on attack rolls. Creatures saving against your spells have advantage.
Right.
You have your one level of exhaustion, so yeah, you do have disadvantage on ability checks. So yeah.
Oh fuck! I don't need to roll anymore then. Once is enough, apparently.
Did you get a 1?
I sure did.
All right.
Total 5.
So
guys, I know what this is.
Yeah, your assessment is that it's Fubar and you're Fubar.
Yeah.
Yeah. This whole situation is Fubar.
Can I? All right, so I'm gonna run that direction for sure. And how far away is that face from my storm sphere?
It is
Within 60 feet, perhaps?
No. Well, yeah, probably.
Oh, delightful. I'm going to fucking shoot some lightning at it. I don't like it at all. Perhaps if I heard it, it'll let us out.
Okay. So you shoot it with lightning.
Yeah, technically I have to make an attack roll, but...
Okay. Make your attack roll with disadvantage.
With the old disadvantage, yeah. Come on, dude. Really? It's not a... All right, so no 1 at least, but...
Ivar is glad it's not a 1.
Let's see here. What's my to hit? Fuck. +6. 11.
Okay.
So maybe if it's not moving and it's just a little thing, it's sufficient. Has no dex.
You don't hit it directly, but you hit close enough, and you can see it kind of go like it winces and then I need to send a message.
In case it matters, it was 13 damage with that lightning.
All right, noted.
Do the Slimers seem to react at all?
No. They don't seem to react. They don't seem to have any awareness of anything except that they're chasing you guys. And so Tony, Tacitus, with that, one of the Slimers gets within range of you and launches itself at you.
Yeah, all right.
And it gets advantage on attack rolls against you, I believe, right? Does the Spirited do that?
You tell me.
No, it does not actually.
Sweet.
So it launches itself at you, but despite your exhaustion and how terrible you feel right now, you're able to sidestep it. But it lands right next to you and looks like it's getting ready to go again.
How close did I get to the that roped sphincter?
Wait, were you shooting lightning at the face or the sphincter?
At the face. But I
Okay.
wanted to move toward. I didn't know if I could do like a movement and a bonus action, but
yeah, you could do that. So if you moved, you got 30 feet closer because Ivar and that face are about 60 feet from you guys.
okay. I mean, if I get a full round to do something, I would just dash to get all the way there.
Okay. That works. So now you're right by the face and you're right by Ivar, and you sidestep the little blob thing. And you come up right next to Ivar, who is currently steaming with acid all over him as this thing is engulfing him.
I heard. Fuck.
And then Marthau and Elmorn, what are you guys doing? Each of you have Marthau. You have 2 of these things coming at you. Elmorn, you got 1 for you and 1 for Blaze coming at you.
So how far away is this face?
From you, it's about 60 feet.
And I've seen all this going on. And to me, it sounds what I heard sounded like Fenris. can I see the face from where I'm at, or do I just know of its existence? Like,
no, there are like occasional splashes of this fluorescent goo, this fluorescent green goo, and it occasionally lights the face. So you can give me a perception check.
I didn't perceive shit.
What was your perception check?
10.
That's good enough. Because it's just.
I have like plus 8%. Or oh wait, no, that's persuasion, not perception. That's 5.
Okay. So it could be Fenris. The shadows are playing around with it though, and because of the deformities, you can't be 100% sure. But
it sounds better than dealing with these things. So I'm gonna run that way and make my movement towards that thing to see if I can get a closer look.
Okay. The two bulbous things are bounding off after you as well. They're following you.
Okay. So as I get closer, do I make out any more detail?
Yeah. In fact, the finger holes were like bowling ball finger holes are very reminiscent of when you saw Fenris being attacked by the angel face creature and when it dug its fingers into his skull. And you can see the eyes, and the eyes are very much Fenris.
This is Fenris, don't hurt him. And it's like, maybe we can calm him down. And like, I know that these things are bounding off behind me. What Martha does is he was gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern onto the face to try to relax it.
Okay. Hypnotic Pattern, what does it do?
You create a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. Each creature in the area makes a wisdom saving throw. On the failed, it becomes charmed for the duration. And basically, it takes get anything in that block goes into a stupor.
All right. I rolled a 19 without modifiers.
Yeah, it's gonna do it. So, I'm going to use an action point to make you re-roll that.
All right. I'm not even gonna re-roll it. Just describe what happens.
So as Martha kind of runs up and he sees Fenris in so much pain, and he also sees Tacitus attacking it with lightning bolts. Thinking that's clearly the wrong way to go about this, he takes the alternative approach of trying to calm him down instead of agitate him. So out of his hands come a stream of colors that just kind of blanket Fenris's face, and he his eyelids start to droop, and the spikes that were like pulling him back, like he just becomes more relaxed. They become relaxed. And it kind of takes the tension out of the situation. Pun intended.
Tacitus, what, with your storm sphere still existing, is there ongoing effects for those for objects within the storm sphere?
Yeah, they're just buffeted by strong winds. The lightning doesn't come out unless I make it come out.
Okay. So there is a general sort of relaxing of the muscle tissue within this thing, but the blob things are coming just as fast as everything else, or just as fast as they were. They don't seem to be affected by the effect that you brought forth. So it does relax kind of the environment, but these things seem to be separate in some way. Uh, and then the two that were following you jump at you and try to similarly to what they did to Ivar. One of them is definitely going to miss. The other one's definitely going to hit. So one of them kind of goes low, the other one goes high, and you're able to duck under the one that went high, but doing so, you went right into the one that went low, and it wraps around from your feet and begins clawing at your torso, kind of enveloping you in this acid. So you're grappled now, and you take 5 acid damage.
As it claws into it, it finds that what it held on to actually disappears.
Ah, excellent. Elmorn.
I told you, I'm waiting. Sentinel.
All right, so the one running at you comes within range.
Attack of opportunity.
Yep.
14.
Hit.
Yay. Eight damage.
All right. It explodes. Similarly to the other one. This time your weapon seems to be steaming much more. And you can see that edges of the blade are corroding a bit.
Good thing I have a backup halberd.
And then, so that was your reaction.
Okay. You know what? So I have Relentless Avenger now. Whenever I hit a creature with an opportunity attack, I can move up to half my speed immediately after the attack as part of the same reaction. I want to hop on Blaze.
Where does that Relentless Avenger come in? Is that from the...
That's a
From
paladin.
Oath of Vengeance.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. All right, so you're going to hop on Blaze?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Blaze gets a turn, right?
Yep.
So we're going to charge this other one. We're going to fucking hoof it in the face.
Okay.
Pun intended, like charging it, like hoofing it, and then
Well,
you hoof it.
How far is the thing from us? If we charge it, like how far would we travel if we're like, going towards each other?
So it's only 10 feet because this thing is like nearly on top of you
All right,
guys.
then Blaze is just gonna like dodge this thing.
Okay. So, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Attack roll.
He also rolls a 14.
All right, so he hits.
2d6 fire. So 2. Jesus. Plus 1d4. So 6 fire and 4 bludgeoning.
All right. So it explodes very similarly to the others. But in doing so, the acid splashes onto Blaze's hoofs, and you can see that there's significant damage to his right hoof, to where he can't even put any weight on it now. It's you can see it bubbling and boiling, and there's now a steady stream of blood coming down his leg.
So I used my reaction to attack and then move on to Blaze. And then Blaze used his action to attack this thing. So now I want to use my action to lay on hands Blaze's hoof.
Okay.
How many lay on hands points do you want cost? I mean, how much did Blaze take damage? Should I start taking his health away or what?
Blaze has taken a significant amount of damage.
How much?
Let me see. All right, Blaze is down to about 11 hit points.
Okay. So it's taken 30 damage is what you're saying. Or like 30. Okay. I'll heal him for 20. Does that help his foot?
Yeah, he after you heal him to that degree, he's able to put weight back on his foot again.
Cool. All right, well, that's my action then.
All right, and so now because of that, of charging the thing and everything, you're about 100 feet away from everybody else right now.
How'd I go from 30 feet to 100 feet?
Because everybody else moved.
Oh, they ran away, right?
Towards Ivar. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lame. Well, I'm on a horse. You go fast. We'll catch up.
Yeah. So Ivar, you're grappled by this thing. What are you doing?
I'm going to try to nimbly get out of this.
Okay.
So acrobatics check.
All right.
22.
All right. So you're able to get out of it. As you do, it just explodes, and you take 5 more acid damage, but it's no longer grappling you.
And as I'm sort of rolling out of its way, I nimbly dip a hand into one of my pouches and withdraw a vial and fling it at Tacitus. It's a potion of healing. You look like you need it more than I do right now.
Would be nice.
Tacitus, give me athletics check to try and catch it, or an attack roll.
Let's see here. Athletics is +6. Let's see what we can do here. Fucking hell, man. This disadvantage is killing me. 10.
All right, so you put your hand out to grab it. It fumbles, but just before it hits the ground and looks like it's going to go into a pool of acid, you manage to you're like, no, and you put your foot out to kick it. It kicks it back up like a hacky sack, and you manage to grab it then.
I've done that with ice a lot.
I was gonna say I didn't like wing it at him.
Oh shit!
I was imagining more of a gentle underhand.
All right. So you got that potion of healing now.
That was delightful.
So are we attacking this face or what?
Apparently not. I didn't like the looks of it, so I had started, but I'm gonna go ahead. We haven't really done initiative, so can I just go ahead and drink this potion?
Yeah, we're not doing anything in initiative order. We're just kind of rolling with it.
Okay. Nice. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's a great potion of healing right there. I got max healing.
Nice.
So whenever I recover hit points, how does that work with the vitality points?
Your vitality points stay the same, but you regain hit points.
Okay.
So you're no longer considered dispirited since you have hit points now.
Sweet. I've got 12 out of 64 hit points.
And then just as well, wait a minute. You're also grappled by the thing, right?
Am I grappled?
Were you?
Grappled.
Or
You
did it
tried-
miss you?
It missed him. Because you looked to see if it had advantage or disadvantage, and it didn't.
Oh, right. So it missed him. So it's are you doing anything else before it's going to try to grapple you again?
So it's like right next to me?
Yeah.
So I will disengage to step away, and so bonus or action to disengage, step away from it because these things appear to explode. Step away from it, and I would like to launch some lightning at this thing.
Okay.
So attack roll +6. No longer with disadvantage. Oh yeah, that's much better. 18 plus.
All right. So you hit it, it explodes, but you disengaged and you stepped away from it.
Yeah.
All right. So you did that, but the lightning bolt goes through and strikes right next to Fenris, and causes that whole area to shiver and convulse again. And so the whole environment is doing that again. So everybody, give me a dexterity save.
I'm great at these.
Oh fuck, dude! I don't know how I'm doing it. Another natural 20. I'm doing it. I'm real dexterous right now, apparently. And that's my total too. So
The dice gods giveth and taketh.
yeah, oh yeah.
19.
23.
What
Okay.
was Blaze's?
Blazes was a 5.
You were hoping I wasn't going to ask you that, weren't you?
I was like, maybe he'll forget.
Come on now.
So can I? Were you doing a gust, by the way?
Yeah,
Come on, son.
it was bad. It was bad. Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It was great. Can I, since I got a pretty high dex save, dexterously hop off of Blaze before he falls over like a fucking idiot?
What was yours?
19.
Okay. So, Blaze tumbles face first into a puddle of this acid.
No, just healed him. God damn it!
And so after that, he's burned, and he very quickly is struggling to try and get up, and raking across the flesh of the floor to try and stand. Meanwhile, you just kind of gracefully tumble off of him and just watch as he struggles with that.
Watch. I don't try to help him at all.
Well, I'm sure you do, but he is a 2,000-pound horse.
I'm pretty strong.
Maybe if you were big, Elmorn.
Big Morn.
Big Morn.
Yeah, big Morn. Everybody else manages to stay on their feet, and Tacitus, something cool happens for you.
Do I get to decide again?
Yes, you do.
I use the undulation to thrust me through the sphincter.
So you use the undulation like a trampoline slash slingshot.
Yeah.
And bound towards the sphincter, and you hit against it, and then roll off because it's tight butthole right now.
Yeah. But that rope's there though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll grab the rope. Wait for it to open up.
Okay. So you are next to the sphincter, so you're about 20 feet up. You're grabbing onto the rope. You're kind of almost like Batmaning it, like classic Batman, 60s Batman. Right next to the sphincter.
I mean, something should be said about forcing my way in there, but we'll leave it be.
All right. What are the rest of you guys all doing now? You got also it seems like there's more of these gobbers coming.
I'm trying to get Blaze out of the acid, I guess.
And also because this environment is just so acidic and noxious, everybody takes in 5 acid damage from that.
God damn it.
So are the
we're not really doing rounds, so I'm just gonna be doing the acid damage infrequently, as long as you guys are kind of in here.
Could I use my my arcane deflection to kind of stop it? Like
No, because it's
like
not
a mini shield sort of thing?
No, because it's not really magic or anything like that. It's not something like a saving throw could prevent.
I mean, because I can add to my AC too, so I wasn't sure.
Well, it's kind of like if you were in the water and you were drowning. Would your arcane deflection help you with that?
Hey, you never know. If I have to make saving throw. Okay.
I mean, if you can sell me on it, I'll consider it.
So I'm just kind of like picturing like sometimes especially with the undulations, some gets splashed towards me, and like as a reaction, I just kind of like throw up this little shield that kind of stops it in front of me or whatever.
All right, and then arcane deflection. What is it?
And it's essentially I sacrifice the ability to cast a spell my next turn. Or cast a full spell. I can do like a cantrip in order to boost AC or a saving throw. So
Okay.
it's like a mini shield essentially.
So what I'll let you do is I'll let you take half damage. So you'll take 2.
I'll take it every time.
So what's everyone else doing?
can the Slimer things, are they flying or are they walking?
They're bouncing.
Boink.
They're like a combination of bouncing off of their limbless bottoms of their torso and propelling themselves with their hands across the floor.
Oh, then I'm going to shoot at 2 of them
Sentient flubber.
that are further away than like 5 feet, so they don't explode on me.
All right.
That's a 22 and a 19.
Both hit.
Shooting at 2 of them. That's 7 and 11 points of damage.
Both of them explode.
Then I'll use my movement to try to like scuttle up the rope. Because I assume Tacitus is going through the sphincter, even though maybe he's not.
I'm waiting for it to open, apparently.
So give me because it's slimy, and also the rope seems to be degrading as well in this environment. So give me an athletics check.
12.
Just enough. So you're able to climb up that rope. So climbing is half speed, so you can get up about 12 feet.
Yeah.
All right. So you're almost right there by Tassus then.
So we're kind of like up in the air right now.
Yeah, you guys are Batman and Robining it.
Yep. Cool. And the just to confirm then that face, is it up here or was it down closer to the ground?
It's down. It's kind of like in between the sphincter and the floor.
Okay.
So probably about eye level with Ivar right now, which is probably pretty creepy.
I could try a thing.
Well, before you do,
Yeah.
Martha and Elmorn, what are you guys doing?
So does it look like this face is like lodged in to the wall?
It looks like it's grafted into it.
Does it look like it could be pulled out?
Not without significant damage. It's not like it's not like just lightly kind of grafted. It's like it's hard to see where the face ends and where the wall begins.
So you'd say it's difficult to determine where's the ass ends and the face begins.
Indeed.
So if I cast Reduce, so Martha was thinking about casting Reduce on this creature to see if he can make it smaller so it will have less of a hold into the wall.
Wait, what do you say that again?
So Martha is considering casting Reduce on the face to make it smaller and have the grappling and kind of what's holding it into perhaps a less purchase.
That won't have the effect that you're thinking, because it doesn't have any discernible separation from the wall. It seems like it's almost like one continuous thing. So trying to cast Reduce on the face would be like trying to cast Reduce on a section of wall.
I see. And Martha would know this, or at least ascertain this after studying it for a few moments.
Yeah, because Martha knows how his magic works well enough, and if he were to try it, I mean, he could definitely do it, but he's not exactly sure about what the actual outcome or effect would be.
The best you can hope for is reduce the size of the room we're in.
Wild magic surge. Okay. So I see Elmorn across. Can I see Elmorn from where I'm at?
Very vaguely. It's pretty dark in here. The fluorescence gives some light, but it's pretty dim lighting. And then also with the acrid, stinging environment of the whatever gas is filling this area makes it hard to see through like the water in your eyes.
Hey,
I'll
Cassidy,
let.
I
I'll
can't
let.
believe I'm going to say this, but maybe if you electrocuted the sphincter, it'd loosen up.
I think that would just make it tighten.
Stimulate the anal glands.
I never thought we'd have a D&D adventure like this.
Well, you threw sphincters at us, so what?
Oh yeah, no.
Planned this. What are you talking
I
about?
mean, I definitely planned this. I just didn't realize what I was getting myself into.
Deep
Tisk
shit.
tisk tisk tisk.
Martha's going to shoot a chromatic bolt at the sphincter that's holding onto the rope. Not at the rope, but like to the side to try to see if he can affect it.
Okay.
So it's a 19.
That's a hit.
And we have 13. Thunder damage.
Okay. So, you see your bolts of like rippling invisible energy shoot from your hand, impact the sphincter with a thunderous boom, and the thing shudders, and it seems like it starts to open a little bit, causing the rope to kind of fall a bit. Not much because the slack was already pretty taut, so it just kind of creates a little bit of tug, but then it seems to close again. So, but anybody, so Marthau, Ivar, and Tacitus, you kind of see that if you could do something that deals a bit more damage, it might be able to open the sphincter.
Good to know.
So, is the sphincter considered a creature? Or is it just a thing?
It's a thing.
Okay.
You can't charm a sphincter. Well, I
Well,
guess in some
you
places
can.
you could.
Have you seen Martha?
You said that to the wrong party.
Uh,
I'll learn a charm spell. Damn it.
Let's see. This is on a bonus action. So I'm going to give bardic inspiration to Tacitus.
Okay. And then Elmorn, what are you doing?
Well, is Blaze out of the acid yet?
Yeah, he's gotten back up, and he's been stomping around trying to shake it off of him.
Okay. Can I ride him over to the rest of the group?
Yeah. Since it's your spirit horse, whatever that thing is, your animal companion type horse guy, you can use 5 feet of movement to get up on him. Not that it matters because you can use his movement to move, but
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna ride over towards the rest of the group, try and regroup with everyone.
all right. So you're able to do that.
Elmore doesn't know what the plan is. He's been separated.
Can your mount fly?
He cannot.
Well, he's fucking stuck.
As Elmore is riding over, Marthal briefs him. Fenris is in the wall. We need to try to pull him out, but he seems stuck. And Ivar and Tacitus are climbing the rope trying to get out. You notice that if you hit the sphincter holding the rope, it does give way. Perhaps we could, if we focus attacks on it, we may be able to loosen it and at least escape this place.
By the way, as you guys are kind of sitting there planning and talking, a couple of these goober things coalesce from the ceiling and fall from it onto Ivar, Tacitus, and Elmorn, and then one coalesces and crawls up through the ground at Marthau. So, Tacitus, does 22 hit you?
Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and reaction use shield. Making my AC a 23.
Okay, so it bounces off of you with the shield, and then falls to the ground next to Marthau. And then the one that's falling to Ivar, does a 19 hit you, Ivar?
Yep.
All right. So you're grappled. You take 5 acid damage as it's enveloping you, and the sudden weight is making it difficult to hold on to the rope. So I need an athletics check.
15.
Was exactly the number you needed. So you're able to maintain your hold on the rope, but this thing is weighing you down and straining you. It's pretty difficult, and combined with the slipperiness of this flesh wall that you're standing on. And then Elmorn.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do I notice this thing falling at me? Do you make a perception check to notice it?
Yeah, okay, we'll do perception check.
Yeah. I got 18 perception.
All right, you notice it.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yay. 24.
All right. Hit.
I rolled a 1, but great weapon fighting for the win. So that's a 10.
Nice.
All right. So it bursts right overhead.
No. Ow.
I hit it with the flat side of my blade.
Yeah.
It still bursts.
Can it burst that way?
This just rains down acid upon you.
Here's what I'll do. I'll give you a percentile. I'll give you 50% chance.
All
Can
right.
you deflect it into blaze?
Yeah.
No, he's already taken enough abuse.
No, if it splashes, it's hitting both you and Blaze.
What the hell?
But, all right.
I mean, that would make sense.
No.
So I'm gonna say over 50%, you manage to deflect it. Under 50%, you're taking it.
Okay.
I rolled a 14. So you and Blaze take 5 acid damage.
Okay, but we take less than we would if it would have hit me, right?
Well, the main difference is you wouldn't be grappled by it,
Yay!
and you wouldn't be having continuous acid damage.
I imagine me riding like this, and then just like, huh?
Yep.
And then, oh fuck!
Oh, it's in my mouth. All right, and then the one climbing up from the ground on Martha. Martha, do you still have a mirror image?
I certainly do.
Excellent. So 22.
It hits me.
All right, so you are now grappled and you take 5 damage. So we got Ivar and Martha both grappled. All right, in no particular order, what are you guys doing? How are you responding? What are you doing?
Okay, well, so can you explain the situation to me really quick? So I'm riding over to or whatever. I guess I'm at the group at this point.
Yeah. So here's what Elmorn sees.
Yeah.
After getting the acid splash, you see that Tacitus is holding on to a rope that is coming out of a sphincter, and he's doing so looking very very dashing, as it was a natural 20 that allowed him to bound up there. So he's just got an air of just self-assuredness.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, just below him, you have Ivar basically enveloped in this acid goo. And although he's holding on to the rope, it's just by his fingertips as he's straining against the weight of this thing. And then below that, you have Marthau, who is also fighting against some acid goo, while he has you see 2 Marthaus, one that's fighting against acid goo and one that's just kind of like, Martha. And then right at about eye level of Ivar, you see this really strange face with the bowling ball finger holes and the exposed skull with the bone spikes protruding into it that are connected by tendons to the wall, and the flesh melded and grafted in different places.
So 2 things. So Martha explained to me that this is Fenris. Not that I don't know how much that means to Elmorn, but
well, I mean, as a member of McCormick's Folly, you were familiar with Fenris, but didn't really know him.
But we didn't have a friendship or anything.
Unless you wanted to. I mean, you know Elmorn, so did Elmorn relate?
He was a greedy bastard.
Yeah. I don't think Elmorn and Fen get along well.
He was a drunk, greedy idiot. Anyway, okay. So that was one thing, and the second thing is, wouldn't just Marthau also be writhing around on the floor, even though there's no goo on him?
I don't know, Martha. How does your mirror image spell work based on what you wanted to do?
Mirror image. If I have to roll a dice, and then if I don't.
No. I'm talking flavor-wise.
Oh, flavor-wise.
Looks. Do the mirror images of you copy perfectly what you're doing, or is there some wiggle room? Like, is the mirror image version of you that's
yeah. So it mimics exactly my actions. So you actually see 2 Marthaus writhing on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, because also in the last session, Martha, I think. Last session of the session before, Martha used mirror image, and he was asking if he could do something different with one of them, and you said they had to do the same thing. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Well, to a degree, he wanted it to kind of run off in some other direction.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a stretch, but if he wanted them doing like stationary different actions, that would be different.
I only asked because I would assume that even the Elmorn is very non-perceptive and very stupid at times. He would see one Marthal writhing around with a thingy on him, and one Marthal just writhing around with nothing on it. So he would know I should probably help the one that actually has a thingy on it.
Yeah.
Maybe you should help the one having the epileptic fit.
What?
I never really thought about that, but that is a really funny picture. Like if you see two things writhing around on the ground, like the exact same motion, but one has nothing on it.
One's actually being attacked, the other one's just like
it's like Ricky Bobby on the race course.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm on fire! I'm on fire!
All right, so Elmore.
Before you go on, do you guys mind if we take a short break?
Sure.
All right.
No problem.
So how long have we been doing this now?
What, gaming?
Yeah, this session, this campaign.
Well,
I think it's been over a year, right?
definitely the longest game I've ever DM'd. Let's see. What are you doing? Trying to figure it out.
So who is Fenris?
You should ask.
So we've been playing this game since November of 2016.
November of 2016?
Yeah, because the oldest video that I have on here was from December 21st, 2016, and that was the third session.
I've saved every email. Fenris was my first character, Kurt. So when I started, I had this character. He's a rogue, and I was literally like, because I had no idea what I was doing. This is my first D&D game ever. So,
and now you're running one. Look at that.
Yeah, you inspired me. And so like I made this rogue that was just like the stereotypical rogue, so it's really, really stupid. Like, I'm obsessed with gold and whatever. And like the first session I got like stupidly drunk. Maybe it was like the first or second session. I got like really drunk. And everyone was like fighting some horrible monster, and I was like, I'm trying to unlock the door. And Mike's like, so all of your allies are dying right now, and you're gonna go unlock this door. And I was like, yeah. I think Martha like gave me wings and so I could fly around the battlefield and like sneak attack people. And I was just like, nah, I'm gonna fly over this door and open this door. There might be gold behind the door.
Which there could have been. Fenris would not have known.
So eventually I was just like, Mike, I don't really want to play a rogue. It's fun, but also a single thing that we encountered in that dungeon was some kind of undulating slime monster that my daggers never did any damage to. So I was like, this isn't that much fun for me, so I'm going to switch. And then he was like, okay, I have a perfect way to kill off your character. And then it was like awful, horrible, horrific death. And it was just like, so now like, well, we don't know if he's dead. That was how it was left. We didn't know if he was dead or alive, but he was pretty fucked up. And then he was like taken away, and now we found him again. Apparently, he's this fucking stuck monster.
And he's fucked up.
So that's the story of Fenris.
Yeah, I was just thinking throughout this whole thing, whenever you upload this to YouTube, it's totally going to be flagged.
The number of references to sphincters alone.
Yeah.
Oh, just wait.
This is the one that's going to make your numbers skyrocket.
It's going to go viral.
Sphincter Group. Sphincter Group's uploaded a new video.
All right, so Elmorn, you we're starting to say something.
I actually lost my train of thought. I think I was gonna help the Marthal that's obviously the real Marthal. The Marthal that's in real danger.
Okay.
Elmorn would attempt to help that Marthal. Is there a way
How
for me to?
are you going to attempt to help him?
Well, that was my question. Is there a way for me to strike at this thing without hurting Marthal?
I guess that depends on how skilled you think you are with your halberd.
More than skilled.
I mean, could you safely circumcise a baby from 10 feet away?
What if I used extendo help?
Okay, could you do the same thing from 30 feet away?
Isn't it like a pinpoint precision? I can just go stick it in this portal and it comes out the other end like that.
I mean, yeah, but you're farther away then. So you have less visual acuity.
I can extend up to 30 feet away, right? It doesn't have to be 30 feet exactly.
I mean, it's not like, I'm not saying, oh, because of the distance, it's going to upset your thing, but I mean...
I don't really have any other options.
You have tons of options. You just aren't... Think creatively. How would Elmorn help his friend?
How would Elmorn help his friend?
Who is wrapped in acid?
Divine Smite.
Exactly. Let me think. I mean, I don't want to touch it.
Rear up and bring his hooves down on him.
Blaze has suffered enough. These things seem intelligent at all?
Give me an investigation check.
16.
No.
Damn it.
They've given no indication that they have any instinct or intellect other than to attack what is moving, and have no regard for their self.
They're antibodies.
Not too far off, yeah.
This is all too familiar since we were in that beholder that one time with Peter's game.
Oh, yeah.
We got real lucky and found the self-destruct room.
Yeah, I mean,
And just happened to press the right button.
Yeah.
Elmore would just try and like hit it with the side of his halberd to smack it off of him.
Okay. So I'll let you do that at disadvantage because you're using your weapon in a suboptimal way.
Well, I rolled a 12 twice, but that is an 18 total.
Okay. That's good enough.
Seven.
All right. So it explodes, splashing Marthau in acid. So Marthau, you take 5 acid damage.
Is it splash me, or is it does it's a chance for my mirror image to take the damage?
No, it would actually do both you and your mirror image, but I'm gonna let your mirror image stick around.
Okay.
So it's gonna get you for 5 acid damage, and Elmorn, you're noticing that your halberd is getting more and more corroded. Like you're seeing some holes start to form and pitting in the metal and the haft. It might not survive another blow.
So then, what do I fight with?
Good question.
I mean, I don't know if you remember. I have another halberd. I have the enchanted halberd still. This is the silver halberd.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So, am I able to remove the gem and put it on the other halberd if needed?
I mean, you could certainly try.
Oh my god! All right.
I mean, you know that you applied the gem to the halberd and that you took it off of that other one.
Well, I didn't know that. You guys had to remind me. But yeah.
So Elmore knows that, even if Anno doesn't.
All right. Well, that's fine. If this halberd's still got some use in it, I'm gonna keep using it.
Okay.
Elmorn's he's pragmatic. He'll use things as long as they have use.
All right. So Marthau is no longer grappled. Ivar is still grappled. Ivar, what are you doing?
I am going to draw one of my daggers that I haven't used yet in this game and try to pop this thing around me.
Nice.
17.
All right.
Oh, and 8 points of damage.
All right. It pops and sprays you with 5 acid damage.
And then for my second attack, I'm going to throw the dagger.
Also, give me a percentile roll and hope that you don't roll under 20.
43.
All right. You're good.
For my second attack, I'm throwing the dagger at the sphincter.
Okay.
It's 18.
Hit.
5 points of dagger damage.
All right. The dagger sticks into the wall of the sphincter, and it shudders a bit, but closes back up.
So does it look?
And you also see after a few moments, the sphincter seems to be healing around the dagger now.
Okay. I'd like to try something.
I'd like to hear what you want to try.
Just since I really have no fucking clue what's going on right now, I'm gonna use my message cantrip and message who I now know as Fenris, and say, "Hey, can you open this spot right here, the sphincter that we're trying to climb through?"
So in response to that, you see the face of Fenris going like, "Arr, arr."
Corporate gold.
So it's clear that you've confused it. Him, because he doesn't know where the voice is coming from.
He doesn't respond.
Martha, since
Yes.
you're looking at Fenris, I presume, and you know him best, give me an insight check.
17.
All right. I'm gonna send you a message.
If that doesn't seem to yield any actual results, though, I would probably just launch some more lightning at the tight hole.
Yeah, I don't consider message to really be an action. So
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I didn't, because its message is a cantrip, and I didn't see anything. Martha doesn't just see Fenris as kind of sees this, and Martha was just kind of confused as well because he doesn't know what's going on.
All right. So go ahead.
So does Martha say anything as you see Fenris kind of going like,
Well, so he says, "Fenris, are you okay?"
With that you get a and he seems to like have one eye, the one that's closer to you, that looks kind of directly at you. The other one is kind of shifted off in another direction. But Martha, you notice a spark of kind of recognition there. And you see Fenris's mouth is kind of like hanging, and there's like this drool and but it's like bloody and thick and has a bit of this phosphorescence that drips down as well, similar to the rest of the secretions of this place that you're in.
How can we get you out? How can we get out? Come to rescue you.
Mar. Mar. Mar.
Money?
You see a slight glimmer in his eye and almost like a smirk form, and he goes, and then he kind of gets serious again and is like, Mar, Mar, Mar,
Mar.
Mar.
Yes, Mar. Mar. Thou.
Mar, Mar, Mar.
Good thing I have no emotional attachment to my fucking character.
Marthal. Fenris. We help you. How to get you out? How to get out?
Hep, then pay.
Yes, you're in lots of pain. That's I can tell. Would you like us to kill you? And end it quickly?
My hep,
I
my hep.
My hip.
As this is happening, more of these things are coming at you guys. So each of you got one action before they jump on you. Also, everybody takes 5 acid damage just from the environment.
God.
All right. Can I use my arcane deflection to have it again?
Yep.
Martha, are you in the rope yet?
no, I'm not.
Okay. You gonna get on the rope?
No. Actually.
And with that, Ivar slides back down the rope. Hanging on the rope's not gonna help him open up that sphincter.
Is the bottom of the rope dangling in here and it's held in the sphincter at the top? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Actually, Martha was considering maybe passing gas through the sphincter as a gaseous cloud to see if he can make it through the other side.
Oh.
So,
I mean, you can certainly try, and I just love the heck out of that idea. I got to tell you.
so would anybody like? I say to everybody is, I'm going to try to see if we can get through the cloud through that hole like we did the crack out of from the under the city. Would anybody care to join? If we're able to make it through, it could use 2 people to help open up from the other side.
Well, I don't know what this thing is like on the other side.
Neither do I, but it's probably hopefully better than it is in here.
I point down to Ivar. He should know. He came through.
Was it like equally tight the whole way down?
It was incredibly uncomfortable.
You know,
Think-
it was pretty much like you would expect, like being extruded through like sausage casing.
So, would anybody like to join me, or shall I try to take this alone to see if I can open the sphincter from the other side?
Well, this face seems to know you. See if you can get him to open up. Use your arms or something.
He's in too much pain. He doesn't know what's what right now.
He's in pain. He doesn't know right now.
He doesn't know anything about what's going on other than I somehow sparked a memory, and he knows of me.
Fine. How many of the? How many of those?
Otto, are you okay? You're looking like really sad right now.
I'm fine.
How many of the weird things have spawned to try and come at us?
There's one for each of you, and two for one of you.
So could you like roofie your friend to get him to open the sphincter?
I already tried that. It didn't quite work.
So just to confirm, there's 5 of them?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do it once. I'm going to cast Magic Missile at 3rd level and shoot 1 bolt at each one. That should be... Yeah, okay. Getting low here, guys. Bonus action,
And
lightning at the sphincter.
You also see, just as those ones pop, more are starting to rise, and now there's more. Like, while they were sending a certain number at you guys, that number is starting to increase. So do your lightning attack now.
Let's go sparkly die.
How far is the face?
Fuck.
It's about 10 feet up from the ground.
And these like tendril things that are like in its skull or whatever.
It's like grafted into the side of the wall.
14 to hit.
It's a hit.
All right, let's see here.
Grafted into the side of the wall.
Yeah.
Oh.
10 lightning damage. Roll
All right.
shit.
So the sphincter shudders and seems to tighten.
Oh yeah, sure.
That may be the one damage type you don't want to continue using. Also, it causes the rumbling around the room. So everybody give me a dexterity save.
21.
I'm hanging, right? I don't need to make that.
Oh, it's the rumbling is also pulling and shaking on the rope too, since it's in the sphincter.
I'm going to use an action point.
Not a nat 20 this time.
Too bad.
I mean, if I'm hanging onto a rope, could it be perhaps an athletics instead?
I'll allow that.
16.
Okay.
I'm going to also use Ties of Chaos. And I got a nat 20.
Nice.
All right. Anno, what did Elmorn get?
I'm gonna use an action point.
Okay. What about Blaze?
Blaze has a non nat 20.
All right.
So the first roll for Elmorn was a 1. I used an action point, and then I rolled a 2. So total, that's a 3.
You doubled up, man. You got twice as better.
At
All right. So,
least it's not a 1.
Ano, you fall off of Blaze. You take 5 bludgeoning damage from the fall, and another 5 acid damage from splashing in an acid puddle. And Marthau, you get to do something cool.
Martha looked like he was losing his balance, but then he saved him. He had like kind of like almost saw like a spurt of magic that kind of just like propped them back up and kind of almost pushed him back up. I don't really know what cool I would do. Like those walls shaking, I just kind of make like I don't know, a sweet pose.
All right. Some kind of like Japanese anime.
Yeah,
Fit.
like one fist in the air, like Freddie Mercury type deal.
Fenris grows a beard of feathers.
Or you went like this.
Yes. Hey guys, can you hold on 1 second?
Sure.
1 second. Seconds up, man.
I can't work in these conditions.
All right. So,
Would my Tinkerer's kit have any kind of tube?
yes.
All right. So at the very least, we can shove this into the sphincter and help Marthal gas his way through it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, somebody just needs to hit it really hard.
So I got one more thing that I want to try real quick before we gas our way through the sphincter.
Well, I want to ask something too. How important do these tendrils seem? If we cut these, could they potentially?
What tendrils?
These things that are grafted into his head or whatever.
I mean, it's some tendrils, but it also looks like something has cut the skin and is like pulling it and stretching it and twisting it, and they're not just like attached to his skin, but also digging into his skull. And then he's got these
Let me ask
bone spikes that are digging into his exposed brain that seem to have tendrils going into the wall, and you can see them pulsing a little bit as if there's some kind of fluid exchange or something like that.
Yeah, so do those seem significant? Do you think if we cut those, it would put him out of his misery? Maybe
possible.
Maybe relax his finger.
It's certainly possible.
They say you empty your bowels when you die.
Is that what you're gonna? Is that your tagline that you say to enemies now?
That's your intimidation
I
tactic.
hope you took a shit. They say you empty your bowels when you die.
That's actually pretty sweet. I would be intimidated.
I hope you took a shit.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. Okay. So, what are you guys all doing?
I know I'm switching up my tactic.
So does Elmorn point out that these tendrils pulsing and all that to us?
Hell yeah.
So Martha is going to twin Chaos Bolt onto 2 of the tendrils.
Okay.
I just yelled out, "What? Hit this! What are you doing?
Hit what?
Hit the sphincter as hard as you can."
All right, so I'm going to say, Tacitus, you see Martha getting ready to launch some spells towards the tendrils and try to interrupt him from doing that before he acted.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna listen to Tacitus? You barely know him. You're gonna listen to Elmore, your friend, your buddy, who you've known for years.
One last chance, Tacitus. After
Wow,
that,
that's cold for Elmore to say that against his buddy Tacitus. He knew in the war.
Elmore
Wow.
Elmore wouldn't say that. I was just kidding.
Cold-blooded.
Darkness. No. You do whatever you want, Martel.
Oh, nice. I got a 24 and a 27.
Against the tendrils?
Yeah.
All right. Those hit.
That's pathetic. It's 3 damage of acid. Or, well, we'll do cold damage. So there's 3 cold damage to one of the tendrils and 10 thunder damage to the other tendril.
Did you roll double numbers for any of those?
No, I wish.
All right. So, both of the tendrils burst from the attack, and you see Fenris going, "Ah!" and fluid is spraying from them, and it's like just a mess. And actually, it sprays on the wall and makes it a bit more greased up. And so, Tacitus, give me an athletics check to stay on the wall.
I don't wanna. 12.
You begin to slip down the wall.
Okay.
Do you have any kind of reaction that you might be able to use to stop yourself?
I'm not really. No.
All right. So then you end up falling down, and then 20 feet up, you take 3 bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
So Martha sees that, and he's going to give. Well, Tacitus, you didn't use your bardic inspiration, did you?
No. I don't know.
Right.
What die is it?
It's a D6.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give Martha's gonna give bardic inspiration for his bonus action to Elmore.
How about giving some healing? Fuck.
But Tacitus, you have. I'm gonna let you use your bardic inspiration retroactively.
I don't remember what my total was. 12.
12.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll use it. I might be able to save myself here. Nice. 17, actually.
Nice. Yeah, that is enough. So you begin sliding down, but you just feel a little bit more inspired. And you manage to quickly wrap the rope around your hand and reinforce your grip. You kind of slide and fall. You lose your footing and you crash into the wall. But you're still holding the rope, and then you're able to pull yourself back up, Batman style.
Cool.
And you get to, because I casted a first level spell after wild magic. You get to roll from the table.
Actually, you roll the table. You roll it,
That's
and I tell
right.
you the result.
That's right.
We got a wild magic surge, everyone.
Yeah,
Hide your wives, hide your kids.
Fireball.
Yeah, Tony, by the way, you can use an action point to heal yourself if you spend hit dice.
Oh, I forgot about that.
19.
Ooh, roll a no.
Was I right? Was it a fireball?
No, it might be worse.
Okay, cool. Let's see it.
Spending an action point is a free action to heal yourself.
Oh, it's not against you guys that is bad, but Martha, you cast grease centered on yourself, and your nose becomes a pig snout until remove curse is cast on you.
What?
Great.
So Martha, roll a dexterity save to stay up from the grease.
Shit. I have 0 modifier in dexterity. I got a 9.
So you fall prone.
Hey, at least it's not from 20 feet up.
That's true.
Do you guys remember when Peter with Colmar cast grease on the Warforged, just took him out of the fight completely?
Yeah.
Like 20 rounds worth of combat, the Warforged couldn't get up at all.
I do remember that.
He was our ally.
Yeah, it was you guys' ally. And he cast grease on him because he didn't trust him. And then when he finally does get up, he punches a horse and breaks its neck because he's so mad.
Yeah, so
Good times.
That's my turn. Greased up and pig snouted out on the floor.
I'm gonna shoot 2 arrows at whatever acid creatures are coming at us.
Okay.
So that's a 20, 2 20s, not natural.
All right. 2 hits.
That's 11 points of damage and 6 points of damage.
All right. 2 of them pop. You got 10 more still coming at you guys.
So yeah, it's just an action point, and then I can just spend however many hit die.
Up to half your hit dice.
Oh, okay. All right.
They still your hit dice still recover at a rate of half your level per long rest too.
Right. Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and try and heal up a little bit here.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm going to second wind.
Ivar, you're getting down there in HP.
No, but my whole second wind couldn't possibly take me back up to full. So
Okay.
Yeah, the advantage of fighting that creature from 300 feet away was I didn't get damaged during that fight.
Yeah. All right, everybody's got an action to do, and then you're going to be beset by 10 more of these slime creatures.
Oh, I'm going to fire 2 more arrows at them then. 21 and 23.
Hits.
That is the wrong die. 9 points of damage and 9 points of damage.
2 pop.
So we all get another action? Because I thought we all had 1 action and then... Okay.
I'm taking narrative liberties right now.
Okay.
So am I right next to this this thing, this sphincter?
Yeah.
I don't remember how we did my shadow blade combined with that other one, the possessed blade thing.
There was like a big shadowy hulking thing over top of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just do that again. And I don't remember the damage. I think it was like a few tens.
Right, but I think that it also required an action point to charge it so that you could combine them. And when you disengaged it, did you ever disengage it? I thought you did at one point. I thought you dropped your.
I dropped my shadow blade, the concentration on the spell, but I assume I still have the other thing.
Yeah. So did you want to use just that one, or did you want to try to combine them again?
I wanted to try and combine them again. Yeah, I'll use an action point for it.
Okay. And I believe what does your shadow blade do normally?
It does
The 2d8.
2d8 psychic damage at the base level. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna make it. I think what we said was 3d10, and it would be psychic and necrotic.
Right.
All right. So go ahead and paint us a picture of what that looks like when you're doing all that.
I produce the hilt again and quickly say a incantation while concentrating on that hilt, feeling whatever that presence is that's within the blade. And now that I think about it, I think I had to spend that inspiration or the action dice to quickly attune to that thing. But
I think it was an action point to attune and another one to combine them. But if I'm misremembering that,
yeah, it's whatever. I'm fine with it. But yeah, so then that form sort of, I guess, comes out from over my shoulders again, and I just kind of like will it to attack that freaking thing so that it will open. Just really dig in there.
all right. I'll give you advantage on the attack for the first one.
With that, the storm sphere drops, so it's gone.
Okay.
Fucking Jesus, he's fucking serious. I'm not gonna hit. I mean, unless you set the AC to a 9.
You're right next to it. It's stationary. You're not gonna miss. I gave you advantage to see if you would critical.
Nope, I was way on the other end of the die.
All right, but you still hit.
All right, cool. Let's roll here. So that's 16 psychic necrotic damage.
All right.
What's the lighting
So-
like down here, anyways?
The lighting,
Yeah.
it's pretty dim.
Okay. Well, I would have advantage anyways then.
Okay. So you strike into the flesh. It quivers and it opens up, which gives a little bit of a yank on the rope. Not too much though, because it was already taut. But based on because you do have medicine proficiency, correct?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You can see that this is going to very quickly shut again. So you only have a moment to act.
Okay. I probably don't. I get the impression if I were to try and jab my my quarterstaff in there long ways.
Oh, it's not
like,
big
keep
enough.
it open. Not
It's
that
not big
big.
enough.
Not that big.
No.
Yeah.
It's just wide enough for a person to crawl through.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say, come on, and try and I'm gonna see if I can wedge myself in there to keep it and then like push it open. Maybe people can crawl through. I mean, if it's not gonna if it's not gonna let me, then I'll just push my way up. But
well, you're not gonna know until you commit to something.
Oh, I'm going up there.
So you're going up there, but when you say you want to wedge yourself to try and keep it open, how are you going to do that? Because it's not big enough for you to maneuver, and you don't have enough time to maneuver where you're kind of in it sideways, kind of like the classic image of the trying to shut the dragon's mouth sort of thing. If you're inside of it,
right?
You're like, this is like an army crawl through the tunnel type thing.
Sure. Okay.
So if it's like that, how are you going to try and wedge it open with your body?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if that was a thing I could do. I don't think I have much that would really help with that. I mean, I could with my
dagger did stick into the flesh when I threw it at it. So you at least could slam the dagger inside it.
Yeah, I mean, I could, if it's like right there and I can grab it easy enough, I can like grab it. So like whenever I'm crawling, I'm like, it's scraping against the inside, just irritating it, I guess, as I try and crawl through.
All right. So realistically, would Tacitus have the wherewithal to know that the dagger is there to try and grab it and to try and bring it with him?
I mean,
and also considering that your hands are already full, one holding the rope, the other one holding the shadow blade.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, I mean,
I thought the creature that formed over his shoulders was holding the shadow blade.
No, he's got to still hold the hilt. That's how he directs the motion.
That's fine. Yeah, I wasn't sure about the one that was stuck in the side. I figured I would be, once I got like inside and started crawling through, I'd pull one of my own daggers out.
Okay.
Because I have 3 of them myself, so I could do the same thing. Just kind of grab one as I'm trying to, squeeze through, and just like every time it tries to like squeeze on me, that's got this dagger jabbing into it, essentially.
All right. So that's what you're gonna do?
Yeah, that's right. My goal.
So Tacitus climbs the rope, pulling himself up, moving forward. The give me an athletics check to see how fast you get through the sphincter.
Big money, no whammy. Fuck. 6.
That's less than ideal.
No, I'm sorry, not 6. 10.
Still less than ideal.
You just get your head in the sphincter and it slams.
All right, you take 12 bludgeoning damage as the sphincter closes on your torso. It's not, you're still able to get through, you're able to slide through, but there was that sudden pain as you did that. And as you're crawling through it, the sphincter closes behind you, and you can feel like the pressure growing around you, but with you using your, I imagine you put away the shadow blade and then pull out a dagger and start kind of maybe even climbing with your daggers or scraping it, and that helps to keep your kind of bubble as you climb through the sphincter, so that you're relatively unmolested until you get to the end.
Which sphincter is he climbing through?
The one with the rope?
So
Yeah.
you're going up.
I assume so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
Does it
kind of
feel
angled like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
because it's in the side of the wall.
Okay.
So it's kind of
like
angled
up and to
like
the side.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
up and to the left or back and to the left, whatever it was. All right, so you guys just see Tacitus disappear into the sphincter,
I yelled out, come on.
and Ivor's acted. Martha, you acted, I believe,
How
right?
many times has your wife had to hear the word sphincter now?
Not much since she just got back from work.
Oh, we gotta step it up, guys.
I acted last turn, but since we have the fresh rounds of turns or whatever I haven't acted.
Okay, so you and Elmorn still have actions before these 8 globbers come upon you. So, but you're prone right now and on your slippery grease.
Lemmy wings. So we have actions. So Martha, he attacked 2 of these pulsating tubes that were attached to the face. How many are left?
Like 1.
If I cut it, what's it gonna do? He's gonna die, right?
So it, just like the others, it splits, and you can see that he's in even greater pain and he's like shuddering, but he doesn't seem to be dying just yet.
We released you. Now release us.
Mar. So, what is that? All right, so Elmorn, you attack the thing. Martha, what are you doing?
But as soon as I get in my reach, I still have my sentinel.
Is there while Martha is prone and greased up and has a pig snout.
Yep.
So he's gonna do the only sensible thing, and he's gonna cast fly on himself.
He's greased up. He should be able to wiggle right through that thing, man.
Yeah. Okay. So you cast fly on yourself.
Yeah. using my last level 3 spell slot. And yeah, I'm gonna see if I can just shoot straight up to help Tacitus.
Well, Tacitus is gone right now, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to see if I can like squeeze through the sphincter as well.
Okay. Describe the way in which you try to squeeze.
So,
like what is the quality of your goose head?
Yeah, I was about to say.
So given that Fly has a speed of 60 feet, and this is not 60 feet, it's like 30 feet up, right? 20?
Yeah, it's 20 feet up, and you're right next to it. So
yeah. So given that it's not, even though I have a Fly 60 feet, I would imagine that I could probably muster some speed to just kind of try to shoot through.
Okay.
So he's just kind of, he's greased up, and he probably thinks that this is as good as he can get, and he's just going to try to go for it. Martha's kind of lost hope and how to help Fenris at this point. So he's tried, but he doesn't seem to be responding. So he's just focusing on escape now.
Okay. All right, I have worked out the system. I've written it down. I need you to give me a spellcaster check. So that's just a d20 plus your charisma.
That's a 20, not natural.
Ooh. Well done. So describe how you get through.
Martha, you see Martha on prone, and he just starts floating, and he kind of like careens upwards and just shoots off, and makes for the sphincter.
Shoots off.
It just pops right through. As it comes into contact, it just kind of slides through, and there's really nothing that the wall can do. And I imagine that since Tacitus was halfway in, it also pushes Tacitus out through the other side.
So yeah, so you are able to catch up to Tacitus, and you're able to help him get out as well. So just so you know, I had a kind of a rolling DC. So at 10, you would have gotten through, but taken 5d12 damage. At 12, it would have been 4d12. All the way up to 20, which is 0.
Nice.
So
I'll take it.
All right, Elmorn, you got your you did your action. So now the 8 guys come upon Ivar and Elmorn and Blaze. And so Elmorn, you have your reaction. You can try to pop one.
12?
Hit.
10 damage.
All right. It pops, and with that, your blade and the haft melts away. All you have left is the base. And then, so you guys got 7. So 2 on Ivar, 2 on Blaze, 3 on Elmorn. And so the 3 going for Elmorn. A 15, a 20, and a natural 1.
The 20 and the natural 1 hit me, of course. I'm just kidding. Just the 20.
All right. So one of them tries to hit you and just falls short and pops harmlessly at your feet. Another one misses. The other one gets you, so you are grappled and take 5 acid damage. And then the 2 against Blaze, a 7 and a 12.
They both miss.
So Blaze is able to knock those guys off with his hooves, and he's staying in the game. And then 2 against Ivar, a 10 and a 23.
23 hits.
All right, so you are grappled and you take 5 damage. All right, so what are you guys doing now?
So what's it like on the other side?
Yeah.
What do we
I'll
see?
get to there.
Okay.
Just for now, imagine that you're going through a never-ending tunnel of flesh.
Always.
and you're just slip sliding right through like a rocket with powered by Elmorn. Marthau. Marthau and his power goose head. All right. So Elmorn and Ivar, what are you guys doing?
All right, I'm going to draw my other dagger and try to pop the one that's grappled me. 18 to hit.
Yep.
And 8 damage.
You pop it, you take 5 acid damage as it splashes you.
And then I'm going to throw the dagger at another one. 22.
Hit.
And 7 damage.
And popped. So you guys have 4 left that are standing.
I don't really have any way through that sphincter myself, by the way, so we're basically trapped here.
Climb up that rope. Leave the fucking horse.
Elmorn, what are you doing?
Well, I'm grappled, right? So I need to shake him off or something.
Yep.
Okay, so I try that.
Okay.
What is that?
Athletics.
$12.
Good enough.
Yay.
So you get ungrappled. It pops though on you, and you take 5 acid damage. You still have another attack that you can do since that only takes your attack action. You get 2 attacks.
Well, I have a halved. I have the half of a halberd and another halberd on my back, I guess.
All right, so you can.
I don't want to waste 2 halberds in this fucking stomach.
Okay, so you want to use your fists?
Sounds like that's my only option, right? Or beat things with the half.
Would you
one hit?
Would you rather
Climbing
waste?
the rope.
Would you rather waste a fist or waste a halberd?
I take the. Is it easy to remove the gem?
All right, so you're trying to remove the gem?
No. I just stow the haft and the gem, however I stow it, and yeah, I put up my dukes.
Okay.
and then I climb up the rope.
All right, give me a flex check.
14.
Good enough.
Yay. Rolling terribly.
All right, so
Well,
you're
wait a
able
minute.
to get.
Fuck. No, wait. I wouldn't do this. I can't leave Blaze, unfortunately.
What are you gonna do?
Blaze can't climb ropes. Nor can Blaze fly.
Wait, where are you, Martha? You're flying, right?
Duck.
Yeah, I flew through the sphincter.
He's gone.
That's right. I tie the end of the rope to Blaze.
There's not enough give to the rope because it's only a 50-foot rope, right, Ivar?
Yeah, that's right.
So you got 20 feet from where it's tied, which you also need some slack for that, and it's 20 feet.
What if I turn myself giant and I lift him so that I can tie him to the end of it?
Why stop at tying him there when you could push him in?
Can I do that?
Just turn into a giant to like pick up your horse and shove it.
Can I do that?
It's like a rebirthing process.
Do you have any action points left?
I have one action point.
All right. Because you're being a large creature, you're not going to be big enough or tall enough to lift Blaze. But if you were a huge creature, that would be a different story.
Okay.
So if you want to spend an action point, I'll allow it.
I want to spend an action point to become huge and like rip the sphincter open.
Okay, you could try that.
I mean, does that sound like a good plan, guys?
Just punch it.
Punch it.
Yeah.
If it works, imagine if you had started out that way.
Probably should have
Yeah,
done this a long time ago.
Go huge and donkey punch this motherfucker.
Okay, I'm using it, and I'll be safe first, and I'll just can I just lift? If I'm huge, can I lift him with one hand, or I need both hands?
You would still need both hands.
Okay, fine. Then I'll just lift him with both hands, and be like, all right, it's gonna be uncomfortable, and just push him as hard as I can through the thing. Be like, hooves first. Burn that motherfucker with your hooves.
Horses are not really made to crawl through tunnels. Are you sure you want to push him through before you try to rip it open?
Okay, fine. I'll try to rip it open first.
Okay.
So, strength check.
So you basically force your log-sized fingers into this tight little sphincter and begin trying to. Yeah, so that's a strength check.
We've all Googled this in high school.
You have advantage on your strength check.
That is 19.
That is enough to get it open, but it's still resisting. So you get a sense the minute that you let it go.
You do have bardic inspiration that I don't think you've used.
Wait, can I?
You do have bardic inspiration.
Did you guys give another one this session?
I gave you one this session.
Oh
Yeah.
Well, can I just be creative instead? Am I big enough to where I can like hold it like this, but kind of arch my back so that Blaze could run up my back and into the sphincter, along my arm?
Yeah, that's certainly worth a shot.
So like like a weird athletic like straddling pose like this like
Yeah.
like opening it.
Atlas
All right.
out the globe.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
So,
digging
like
it.
run up my leg, up my back, along my arm, and then into the open tunnel sphincter.
Okay.
Then I am acrobaticing into the saddle.
All right. So Ivar gets into the saddle and rides Blaze up Elmorn's back, bounding off the back of his skull into the hole. Right in the hole. All right. So I'm gonna say Blaze needs either a athletics check or a strength check.
Okay. Well, they're the same modifier for him, so.
All right.
It's times like these that I wish we had like a huge following so that I could see drawings of this.
He has a 22.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. So he manages to plow right through with Ivar in tow, but Ivar, you need to react because the sphincter is real. Even though Elmorn is doing a good job of holding it in, it's still really tight. So give me an acrobatics check to duck under the lid.
This is conjuring up lots of weird imagery.
23.
All right, you're good. You're holding tight to Blaze's neck and mane. All right, so you get through. As you do, it becomes just as you experienced going in, like packing sausage. Packing sausage. So yeah, it's Blaze is getting, because of the way Blaze is built, horses aren't really built for crawling. He's having trouble getting through. So how are you responding to that, Ivor?
I don't know. I wouldn't imagine there's that much room to do too much. But I am certainly going to, try to duck down and get out of the way. I mean, if there's a way I can help him crawl through, I would do it, but I'm not picturing how to.
Okay, so you're just kind of like,
Just getting as close as you can to Blaze. I guess.
Right, keeping down so that I'm not an additional obstruction. Hey, I'm willing to do an animal handling check, but I am not proficient in it.
actually, Elmorn.
Can I finger the sphincter? Push him along.
So first of all, there are still 4 goobers at your feet. So before anything happens, you're getting hit by those guys. And because you're distracted with what is going on, they're going to have advantage on their rolls.
Okay.
So that's a 23.
Okay. To hit.
That's a 24. That's a 23.
To hit.
And that's a 14.
That's a miss.
All right. So they can't grapple you, but they can cling on to you. So you're taking 15 acid damage.
Did you say Klingon?
I did.
Actually, I know what to do to help the horse. I'm going to break open the top of one of my new Colmar arrows to grease up its back. And like move my arm like under one of the straps of the saddles because it's going to start getting slippery.
All right, so that does help. That gives Blaze enough room to use his, because he is known for his blazing hooves, to use them in such a way to burn the flesh of the sphincter around him, that alone causes it to expand a little bit in his wake. All right, so Elmorn, you are now alone in this thing, holding the sphincter open as best you can, with acid goobers clinging to you, and more are on the way.
All right. I want to try and pull it apart even more and stick my entire upper body into the sphincter.
Oh my god.
And then try and like, so like if I get to this point where I'm like, ugh, I'm diving in, then I would like to shrink myself so that I can like shrink into there.
Okay. So give me a strength check. With well, wait, strength or athletics? What's better for you?
Athletics.
Okay. Give me an athletics check. Roll at advantage, and if you want, use your bardic inspiration.
Okay. That's a D4.
D6.
D6.
It's a D6. Okay. 22.
Oh, it is just a bloodbath as you are splitting that sphincter. It was not made for this.
It should think the next time it wants to suck us into something.
So go ahead and describe what happens next.
All right, so I rip this sphincter with my giant, huge fingers and hands, and I put my entire upper body into this thing, and then I just have these two giant feet like kicking as I'm trying to get as deep as I can into the sphincter. And then I end the spell that's keeping me huge, and I just like shrink into the sphincter. I don't know how far in I am. That's up to the DM, but yeah. And also, I would like to say that the little things clinging on my leg or whatever, they like fly off as I'm kicking and then shrink really fast, or they get like slid off by the sphincter. But I don't know.
All right, give me another athletics check.
Nat 20.
All right, you do what you want. You tell me what.
I do what I want.
Yeah.
I kick Fenris in the face inside of the sphincter as I'm leaving.
You crush his face. His brains explode against the wall as you do that.
Oh no! Well, that's what happens. And I kick those stupid things off me.
All right. I'd kind of like to leave it here and see what happens next for next time. You guys are just traveling through this giant esophageal passageway.
Guys, do yourselves a favor and don't Google image sphincter. You will regret it.
This is not something you want to try to find a GIF of.
Exactly.
But
All right.
but there's definitely a search term for if you want to know what Giant Elmorn just did. For you kids at home who might be watching this.
So what did everybody think about tonight's session?
Disgusting.
We spent the entire session trying to get through a sphincter. I mean, that's my notes. creatively trying to punch our way through a sphincter.
Like, that is largely my notes too. I have like 2 lines of notes because I just stopped keeping track of all of the failed ways to get through the sphincter. It's like we tortured Fenris and then tried to punch through a sphincter.
I thought it was fun. I wish there was more of an indication of what to do.
Yeah, I could tell. We could tell it was some kind of stomach-like area, or it seemed like it, but there wasn't really anything to do other than Fenris being there. And after we destroyed all the tendrils that we saw, nothing really happened.
So I like the situation though. Like we're in like we're in a situation where the enemies are weak, but there's endless amounts of them. So I think that's cool. And we're like trapped. So we have to figure out how to get out. Like I said, I just wish there was more of an indication of like what we were supposed to do to get out. Because at a certain point I was like running. I didn't have any ideas of what to do other than I guess brute force our way through a sphincter. So I don't know. Yeah. It's just like,
I mean, that's really what it boiled down to. You guys had to figure out how to brute force your way through a sphincter.
Well,
that's why I said hit this thing really hard.
So Tacitus was saying constantly, guys, help me hit this thing.
See, I mean, it would have been nice if there was like some other way to make things work. Like, I don't know, trying to like somehow get through to Fenris to make it like deactivate the environment or something. Some other.
I had kind of thought about that too. Actually, I was like, so if we're in a stomach, we need some sort of antacid, but I don't know how to make that. So,
what about yeah, no. So my thought was like, if were you planning on Ivar coming in and having the forethought to tie a rope onto the outside and bring that in? You know what I mean? Like, what if he hadn't done that? So then how the fuck would we have even gotten up there and gotten out? I guess, you know,
might have had to go.
Martha could fly.
Find another exit.
Martha can fly, but that fucks the rest of us.
No. But
and Mike wanted to kill Blaze. If you guys couldn't.
No. So here is my thought process when I was figuring this out. One, I have learned long ago not to plan how to solve these things because you guys always break my brain in terms of the things that you figure out and things that you come up with. So I've learned to just set up the situation and let you guys kind of handle it. So there's that. Also, while I did not plan for Ivar to bring the rope and everything, there were ways that you guys could have still climbed the walls without a rope. It would have been more difficult, but it was doable.
Yeah.
And also in terms of the lack of direction, at least from my perspective, I thought that giving you guys the sense of there are these sphincters that are opening up and closing, and then the hints that there's some air coming through them was an indicator that you guys had to figure out how to get through those things. But that I didn't want to figure out for you guys how you were going to do that. And I kind of wanted to give you a sense of danger because the environment was caustic and you were being attacked. And so that also creates a sense of kind of a battle fog because you have a lot of different objectives that you're trying to achieve. So I was trying to get you guys to kind of think creatively, to work together to come up with options. And the Fenris thing that I added in there, I kind of added that in there purposely, not as a means for you guys to try and use him to relax this, but to show you that while he is a part of this thing and that the angel-faced creature kind of enslaved him and changed him into this, he was out of control. He didn't have any control or ability to affect anything. He was just miserable, tortured, and had all of his agency really removed. And so that was more of a way of kind of showing you the progression from where Fenris was to where he ended up.
Okay. Yeah, no, and I agree. I think that like I said, I thought it was a cool scenario. The endless waves of enemies really did, even though like it's good that they were weak, but there were just so many of them. So it was like it was a constant threat, and they always did acid damage even when you killed them. So I mean that was cool. And I understood that we were supposed to get out via sphincter. I guess it was just like at a certain point it felt like we ran out of options other than brute force. That's all. But I mean, overall, it was fun, and I liked it.
And then also, so you guys weren't necessarily aware of it, but I was sending Tony messages letting him know, hey, it looks like if you do this much damage to sphincter, it will probably open up. And I think I also sent one of those messages to Dustin as well.
No.
I didn't see it at first. I'm like, you said you were sending it, and I kind of looked, and then I didn't see it, and then we were going, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe did he send X? Oh yeah, I did send it. And
so
like,
that
was
that was my way of kind of giving you guys some hints, but then forcing you to communicate and coordinate, so that it's not just coming from me. It's you guys working together, you guys trying to do that piece of it. And then I was trying to give some other hints too, but maybe I was just a little bit too subtle in how I was providing them, in terms of like demonstrating, saying, hey, when you did damage to the sphincter, it kind of opened up a bit, but then it closed, kind of indicating, oh, maybe if you do more damage to it, it'll open up bigger, or if you kind of change your tactics a little bit, maybe you could, because like if you guys, for example, you had some freeze magic, you could have coordinated it. Okay, Ivar, you launch a couple arrows, get it open, and then somebody throw some freeze magic at it, and maybe that could have worked. So, I mean, I wasn't trying to figure out the solutions that you guys might come up with, but if you guys, that's where I'm trying to get you guys to think creatively. I don't want to give you many hints because I don't want to be directing how you solve the problem. I want you to use your resources to solve them. Because, like, for example, Elmorn or Anno, there's no reason Elmorn couldn't have right away grown big, forced it open, and then this whole thing would have been done in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
I'm of two minds on one thing. I kind of like that Fenris was sort of unable to articulate what he was feeling and what he was going through. I thought that was kind of effective. At the same time, I wasn't really sure why he was there.
yeah,
So it was interesting that he was there and sort of clearly being tortured. But I wasn't, because I was kind of thinking this was like the inside of that bigger creature from the outside. So I wasn't really thinking that this whole thing was Fenris, but rather like maybe he got swallowed and somehow got absorbed or something like that.
right.
So I don't necessarily know the best way to present Fenris, not really being that familiar with the character anyway.
yeah,
But it did sort of feel like I did assume when there was like a face in the wall that must be an adversary. Like if we can defeat that face in the wall, then that will in some way help us with this situation.
yeah.
So I sort of quickly decided, okay, well, apparently not. Apparently that's kind of a side thing. And then realized, once you explained who Fenris was, I was like, okay, this is more like a nostalgia thing.
Yeah. So
he was a red herring.
yeah. So yeah, he's kind of a red herring kind of thing, but also I guess I can see your point, Kurt, because it's almost like, what is it called, Chekhov's gun, where if you present something, you should use it. So there's definitely, I was wrestling with that, but I didn't want Fenris to just be the suck monster that you guys already killed, and then there was less emotional impact, I thought, from that, especially because you guys didn't see the more human side of him because he was so changed from the outside.
Right,
So
and
I was
that's sort of where I was leaning, was that if I had put together the scenario, at least having gone through this now, I probably would lean more towards at least starting him off articulate so he can kind of explain what happened to him and explain that he can't really help us, but maybe point us to, if we're getting stuck, like, well, you could probably force your way through one of these openings.
Yeah.
And then maybe from there he can deteriorate, because you could have something happen where his mind sort of leaves him again, and he's just once again being tortured. And then I think, actually, if that had happened, I'm pretty sure Ivar would have felt a little more strongly about, okay, well, before we leave, let's put him out of his misery. As opposed to, number one priority is I'm getting out of here, and he can continue being a stomach monster for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely would have been better.
Thanks to a swift kick in the face. I mean,
Right.
Almorn accomplished that.
Which is fitting because it's Anno's character. So the fact that Anno got to do the final blow.
That sphincter, because it seemed like the other sphincters were opening and closing, but this one wasn't. So I was like, "What the heck, man? Open up!"
The reason that this one was closed so tight was because of the rope. If the rope had not been there, it wouldn't have had a reason to kind of keep closed, because the whole object of this thing is to take things in and to not let them out.
Okay, sure.
Well, let out 4 adventurers and a horse, so it failed.
It did. Not for lack of trying.
I did like the final imagery of Elmorn being like Atlas, and then Ivar riding on Blaze up his back into the opening. That would be a great picture.
Yeah, especially if it was done with the South Park aesthetic.
I was a little afraid that the horse would ride up Elmorn's back and approach the sphincter, and then you would call for me to make an animal handling check, because when a horse runs up to a wall and decides maybe it can't jump it, it'll stop and rear and throw its rider rather than keep going.
Had it been a normal horse, yeah, but since it was Elmorn's his special mount, it being a bit more intelligent and trusting Elmorn, I didn't think that was required. Just as long as you could hold on tight and prevent yourself from getting hit by the lip of the sphincter.
Well, tune in next week, guys, when the end takes us to the plains of hell, and we have to fight the devil himself with half health, a bunch of acid damage, no halberd, all of our spell slots gone.
We're not out yet. We're just in some sort of esophagus. So I'm expecting air elementals and.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fight Satan in the sphincter. We're not allowed to. All of our arms and legs are gonna be pinned into our sides, and we're gonna have to fight them like this.
Yep. And I got 3 spell slots and 16 HP.
Martha's greased up like this, so he's just going.
with his pig nose.
With my pig nose.
Pushing me along.
All right, no, it was fun. Thanks, Mike.
All right, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Definitely some good feedback, which I will consider moving forward. So yeah, same time, same bat channel next week.
Yep. See you next week.
See you guys.
All right.
Later.
Take care.